everyone. Welcome to another episode of You Oughta Know, where I introduce you to bands that you should definitely have on your radar. Today's guest is To Begin Anew out of North Carolina. How are you guys doing?
Hey,
good. Thanks for having us over here.
Awesome, guys. Why don't you go ahead and tell the fans how did the band get started and where did the name come from?
A little bit of background information. Myself and Casey here to my right, Shane. Me and Casey have been in bands throughout past pretty much our whole life. Yeah. We were in some bands running together, and I come to a crossroads in my life where I had to make a few decisions. So I ultimately stepped out of music for the better part of 6-7 years. Casey was still active in music during that time, but just one of those things. I realized how much I missed it. Started playing guitar and started writing a little bit. And To Begin Anew actually developed as kind of like it was more of just kind of like a project. It really weren't supposed to be a band. Started writing some stuff. I play guitar and sing. I can't play drums, so I got up with Casey. I knew we had a good relationship. Asked him if he'd want to help me write some songs, see if maybe we could get in the studio and just kind of do some minor stuff. We ended up writing some stuff, and the snowball effect happened, and we decided that we wanted to turn it into a band. We found a couple people along the way that was interested, that jumped on board, that ultimately decided that they didn't want to commit the time and energy that we needed them to make this something. We ultimately recruited Shane on bass. Pretty much gave us the trifecta. We also know Shane. All three of us went to school together in high school. So we've known Shane for forever. It's just Shane was kind of out of pocket during the early part of the band. He had some other obligations that he was involved on, but things just happened to work out right at the time and kind of made itself available for Shane to jump on board.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yep. And we had a guitar player that we were running as 4-piece with him. He ultimately had to step down, and I don't know if you've been following us too closely on social media, Javier, but we actually just got a new guitar player. He couldn't make it tonight because he's having to work for some upcoming shows that we've got. So he's working now, so he has the time off from the show. But his name is Josh Reed.
He's sexy.
So Josh,
he's another one of those guys that's been in the music scene around here for a long time. We actually were really interested in trying to get him on board initially, but he had some other obligations with some different projects, and again, things just kind of worked out, and we got him to come over, and he was actually going to be kind of like a fill-in for us, and he ultimately decided, he saw how aggressive and how eager we were to get up there and actually try to make something out of this, and he pretty quickly, he's like, yeah, I want to get on with you guys. So again, everything kind of happens for a reason. So that's kind of the short version of how this particular band got started. And you had asked about the band name. To Begin Anew, to me, that's always been the name of the project since I started working on it. To me, this particular project was a new chapter for me. It was a new beginning. So To Begin Anew just felt natural for what we were trying to do. So that was the project name. Once everybody kind of got involved and wanted to try to do something serious with it, they decided to say, yeah, that's the right name for this.
Yeah, it's new beginnings,
Pretty much.
Definitely like getting on a new path and going forward. That's awesome.
And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
How would you? Wow. And the air goes out of the room. How would you describe your sound, like your music style?
We always just try to say that we're a hard rock band.
It's punchy.
We try not to say, we don't want to say that we're a metal band or that we're like this subgenre or this subgenre. We like to just say that we're either a rock band or a hard rock band. We do have, if anybody has seen or heard any of our music that we've got out now and some of our new stuff that we're playing at shows, one of our songs has got, a little bit of a punk kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
Some of it has more of a metal element to it.
Aggressive screaming.
Some of it's kind of got your radio-friendly rock sound to it. So, we don't have one particular sound that we stick with. We try to keep our music diverse, and we feel like just labeling ourselves as a rock band is the best way to really sum it all up. So
Yeah, it can't go wrong with that. So you guys have been together since
I've been with him since
January
of 2020.
So the birth date of To Begin Anew was January the 1st, 2020. So it started on the very first day of 2020. That's whenever we decided to make it official.
yeah, like, and I know that you just played a show or like a few shows recently. Did you get to play any shows before the whole like COVID thing started, or
No,
it just like trapped you?
Yeah, we've only played 2 official shows so far.
Yeah, because I remember seeing the pictures. Like, yeah,
yeah. So it's crazy having like going through a set list for almost a year and not playing shows with that set list, and then
that's gotta be nuts, dude.
Right. So now we have a lot of songs written, but we have a 30-minute set list.
Listen, we're holding off on those songs.
Right, we've been holding off on them.
People haven't even heard the ones we've been playing for you.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, with us writing, I think, we kind of had to back up a couple times because the bass player that we initially had, he ended up stepping down. So we ended up having to get another bass player and kind of rework the whole set. And then once we got it locked in that time, the guitar player we had at the time stepped down. So then we had to get somebody new and pretty much revisit everything else, which whenever you get a new member, they always bring their own elements. So, I mean, there's always a slight rewrite process to all of your stuff anyway. But, I mean, just, Shane come on, what was it, you said July?
Yeah,
you were full-time in July. So, I mean, just in 2020 alone, I don't think we've actually started trying to write stuff since this year, because we've been trying to focus on the lineup and getting everything that we need done. But we're sitting on like over 20 songs that we wrote like in 1 year. So, I mean, we got tons of content that we'd love to try to get out there. It's just time and place to
yeah. No, I mean, it's been a lesson in patience, basically.
Right.
It's been just something crazy. So let's talk a little bit about that, because I remember. So I met Shane when he was in his other band, and I remember just talking to him and saying, it's like, hey, just so you know, I'm in this band now. It's all right, cool. Do you have anything like already? It's like, no, we're working on it. It's all right. And but I didn't know much about it. But at the same time, it's like with COVID happening, like how was that? Like, how did you guys deal with it? Like, how was the rehearsal process? How was the writing process? How were you able to manage that? Like, especially with with the restrictions in your state. Like, how did it all work out?
So, I mean, I think as far I'll use the term lightly, but for us, COVID didn't really set us back. It really gave us an opportunity to make sure that we were dialed in tight. So, I mean, we were able to not only focus on, getting our music tight and making sure everything's right, but it also gave us time to work on our, what our stage show would be, as far as like cues and things like that. But it also helped us build up our social media presence, because you really didn't have any other means to promote your band. So, I mean, for pretty much all of 2020,
it was all digital.
Everything,
all digital.
Yeah.
We built our fan base strictly on social media. I mean, we weren't out there playing shows. We couldn't get out there and pass out demos and stuff like that. I mean, everything we did was social media presence.
Even merch was just online.
People
buying merch just based off of what they saw.
So, I mean, it sucked not actually being able to get out there and play shows, but we try to be optimistic about what we do. I think it was overall for this band in particular, I think it was a good thing for us, because it made us, whenever the world did open back up and things started kind of getting normal like they are now, we were ready to go ahead and hit the ground running. There was no learning curve for us. We already had everything dialed in, and we were able to hit the ground running. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's see, and that's good. It's good to see that, like, because I've seen both things. I've seen bands that unfortunately they just couldn't survive. They ended up splitting up. Thankfully, all the bands that I've had in the show, they were able to figure out a way that it's like, nah, man, this is what we do. We're gonna go through with it, and I like seeing that. I like seeing that you guys were able to just say, okay, well, if we can't do A, we're gonna do B.
Right.
If we're gonna do B, then we're gonna do C, but we're just gonna keep going. So I know that you guys have released at least like 2 singles, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
Because I
Two,
remember
we got
watching.
one on the way.
Yeah, we have one
Okay.
on the way.
So is that the plan moving forward, releasing singles, or are you working on an album?
So right now, we're doing singles. We kind of had a plan that we were going to stick with, and a lot of it was going to really depend on how 2021 looked. We said, if we were going to stay in like a COVID type situation where everything was still going to be locked out, then we were aiming to try to put out a single every 3 to 4 months. If things completely opened back up and they went ahead and done away with all kind of COVID guidelines, we were going to try to think about getting in there and just knocking out an EP or something like that. But right now, we're kind of still in the middle phase. We had actually recorded our next single back in the beginning part of this year, but
Delays.
Delays with some production stuff. Again, member changes, and we're going to release a video with it as well. And we went through 2 different directors who ultimately passed on the job because they couldn't find time to do it. So we ended up going with another director who we feel like is probably going to knock this one out of the park. It's just there's only so many people around here that do stuff like that. So you kind of got an idea on what you want to do, and I think maybe the task on this video might have been a little bit more than what they wanted, and also they were so tied up on the projects as well, which ultimately would delay us trying to release it. So it's our next single is going to be called Awaken. And it's going to be a banger. It's got more of kind of like that punk rock feel to it, and the video is super interesting. The past 2 videos we put out have been pretty much like a performance type video. This one's got a performance to it, but it's also got a storyline to it that's very fitting for the past year. So
Yeah.
Cool. So in terms of like, see, when you're saying like the plan is going to be like releasing singles and stuff like that. Yeah, it does make sense, man. Like we really don't know anything about this year. We're almost halfway through the year, and
Yeah, it's
really,
like, where's time
we
gone?
really yeah,
Speed it
it's almost
up.
summer.
Yeah.
It's almost summer. It's like we still don't know anything. So I guess that does make sense. Just doing the singles thing, and what you said about the merch, super true. And the social media stuff. As somebody that does not play a live show and really doesn't have the capability of playing a live show, trust me, social media is king when it comes to that. That's how I've made all of my connections and all of my sales and everything. It's been through that. So it's awesome to hear that you guys have been able to at least grasp that and been able to build a fan base before you even were able to get to the first show.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's pretty cool.
that's
So
kind of
you-
what we wanted to do, man.
Yeah.
We just with us not being able to go out there and play, we kind of had to. That's music. Music is always an ever evolving thing. It's always changing. It's never constant. Things are always changing. So it's something you feel like most bands would kind of grasp, but maybe they do, but just not the same way that we do. But you can't get out there and play shows. So what can you do to get in people's ears and get in people's heads? You got to maintain some type of relationship with these people that you're trying to get as fans. And we've been extremely blessed, I feel like.
And we're millennials, so we'll make it work.
We're
There you
always
go.
pushing our content, man. It just that helps so much. Just being present. Being present and being there and moving forward with it.
Dude, you gotta love what you do. Like especially in times like this, like when there's not a lot of venues to do it. But I gotta say, like. Most of the bands that I've interviewed in this show have been from North Carolina, so I know that you guys have a booming scene.
There's
in
so
that
many
COVID.
beautiful bands and so many artists. in
My
North
God,
Carolina.
dude! Like it's like every time I say it's like, oh, North Carolina. Why did I even bother asking? They're from North Carolina, of course. Is that so and so? And sometimes I don't even know. I forget where the band is from, and I say, oh, blah 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 blah, for North Carolina. It's like, oh crap. But then I nailed it because they. So that's how many. So it's pretty cool. Like I know for a fact that there's a booming scene there, and it's just waiting for all this crap to be over so that everything can open. How were these shows? How were these? I saw some pictures. I mean, the venues look all right. How's the energy in the shows? Talk to me about it.
The energy's been amazing.
Beautiful. So it's a funny situation. Our very first show that we played, we had one of our buddies step in and play the show. His name's Trevor Normile. He's again somebody we went to school with. You know, like a week before we had that show, our guitar player stepped in.
A week.
So we had to cram our buddy Trevor. We're like, hey man, we really need you to pull this one off, but you know we got a week to do it. And I got into an altercation, this long story. I ended up breaking my finger. So on top of us having a new guitar player that had a week to learn all of our stuff, me playing rhythm guitar with a broke ring finger, then that's my fret hand.
He has a solo too when it arrives. So.
Yeah, I mean I do.
No biggie.
Work, but yeah, I mean it seemed like everything was kind of working against us on that first show, but it actually turned out good. It was a fun time. And then this show we had this past weekend at the Blind Tiger in Greensboro, man. I mean, you could feel the energy in the room that night. I mean, it was
beautiful.
That's what shows.
That's all
supposed to be.
It was awesome, man. I mean, you know, for us to be a rock band, you know, we get up there and you know we got one song that's a little bit heavier. We end up getting a mosh pit going, and we're
we did have a mosh pit.
We're like the
Yes.
We're like the least metal band on the whole bill, and we had a mosh pit. So I was like, we're doing something right. We're doing something right.
I mean, but think it goes both ways. Like you guys are excited to be out there, of course. I mean, like you said, it's like you've been rehearsing the songs for a year. You're like the boxer that keeps getting the fight postponed. It's like, but these people, they can't wait to go out there and party. It's twofold. It's got to be amazing, man.
It was really cool. I mean, that's the first time that I've ever played that particular venue. That's a venue that I've had my eye on for a really long time. So I mean, it was really fun. Pretty much everybody down there was new people that had never heard us before as far as live. They may have seen our social media stuff, but that's a little bit different live. But yeah, we got up there and we kicked the show's ass, man, and it was fun. It was fun.
Nice. Awesome. So to recap here, so things that you have coming like in the near future. You said you have a single, Awaken.
Yes.
Is the name of the single. All right. And do you have like a timeline for when it's releasing?
So we like to try to keep some things in our hat, but I think we'll give you some information. What we're planning on doing with this song is probably going to be coming out hopefully mid next month. What we're wanting to do, we're going to mix it up from our previous two singles. What we had done with our previous two singles is that we done pre-saves, which everybody knows is the way to go. We done pre-saves, and then about a week or so after the release, we would come out with official lyric video so our people could actually understand and learn the words. And then about a week or so after that, we would release our official music video. Just to kind of mix things up and do a little bit different this time, whenever we get everything done, we're actually going to release the official video first and kind of try to build some hype on it and start our pre-saves once the video drops. Just to kind of break up the monotony and just do something a little bit different. So I mean,
change it around a little.
Video will be the first thing coming out. But yeah, we're excited. We all kind of sat down and talked about it and decided that's the way we want to do this particular single.
Try something new.
It relates to the times that we're in. So I mean, I think the video itself is gonna be a good message for us, and I think it's just gonna kind of build some momentum and want people to actually have the song.
Yeah. Dude, I gotta say that if there's one thing that the last 12 months have provided for musicians is writing material.
Yes.
You just gotta go outside and it's all there.
Just turn on any news channel for 15 minutes. You'll have a ton of material.
5 minutes, not even 15. 5 minutes.
Just turn on the radio in the car.
From the first commercial break to the second, like that's it. Like, some of the stuff, it's crazy. So where can people find your stuff? I'm assuming that your music is on all the streaming platforms,
Spotify,
like
YouTube, Apple, iTunes,
Facebook.
We're on all of them.
Amazon.
We like to try to push our .com the most. I mean, we're on, like they said, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Google, all those different platforms. But our actual .com, www.tobeginAnew.com or www.tobeginAnew.com. That's our official website, and I mean it's pretty much a one-stop shop. I mean, you go there, listen to our videos, get our music. You can go to get you some merch,
EPK.
I mean, it's got everything on there. So I mean, if you want one place to go to get everything To Begin Anew you could want, our .com is going to be the best way.
Awesome, awesome. And to the people that have never ever heard of you and they're watching this for the first time, what do you want to say to them? What do you want to tell them that's going to get them to come and listen to Begin Anew?
Well, I mean, we put on we like to think we put on a very high energy show. So if you want to come see a band and kind of exchange energy between stage and floor, we're definitely the band for that. I take a lot of pride in my songwriting. I think we all do as musicians, but I try to make sure that, you know, I'm not trying to write a song that's, you know, just trying to be a hit song. I take a lot of pride in what I write about and what I sing about.
Yeah, if you come see us, you're gonna see us moving around. There's gonna be a lot of energy. There's gonna be a lot of energy.
We try to make sure our, you know, all of our songs have a message to deliver. We don't want to just, like I said, you know, just write something to try to be heavy or write something to be cool or all those stereotypes. But yeah, I mean, all around, you know, we take a lot of pride in what we do, and we always promise to deliver a good experience for sure.
Awesome. Well, there you have it. To Begin Anew out of North Carolina. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Seriously.
Thank you, Javier.
And everybody out there, we'll see you next time. Guys, see ya.